So this is a huge contest.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is big. On the schedule right now, this is the highest ranked team that the Aztecs have.
Yes.
I mean, it's the one that right now is the highest, but through the whole season, you would look at their schedule and go, this is number 12. This is a pretty serious contest.
And it's just Gonzaga. I mean, it's the way to the program.
Yeah.
It's what helped put the Aztecs on the map in a win against Gonzaga. Remember, the Boise State, or no, it was the Stanford game where the Aztecs football program went on to win it against number 19 Stanford. And I believe it was J.D. Wicker that says, this is your Gonzaga game to Rocky Long.
Oh, yeah.
His Gonzaga game as what Steve Fisher did in a win a number of years ago, of course. As Brian Dutcher knows exactly what I'm talking about, as he was there on the bench alongside Steve Fisher.
Hell, you were there, Dutch.
You were there.
Coach.
I was sitting right there. It was one of the best wins I ever had.
Coach, could you tell us about that one? Again, just, the magnitude and what it meant to the program. Remind us what year that was.
It was the Kawhi Leonard year with Malcolm Thomas, Billy White, the 34-3 team. DJ
Right.
Gay. You know me. I can't remember the exact year, but I know the team.
2011, right?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Do you remind the guys of that win when you're talking to the team getting ready for this one? Do you remind them of that win?
Well, that one and the one last year when they beat us down at their place, so we got a little revenge on our minds. But I'll remind them of everything I can to try to get them to play hard as they can. And like I said, Gonzaga they played for the national championship last year, and it got a lot of those pieces back. So our guys know how good they are. They know what's at stake, and I think we're up for the task tonight.
Coach, is there a game day version of Brian Dutcher? Because I used to have a game day version where I'd show up, I'd be headbanging on the way into the stadium, I'd throw up before the game, and it was just a completely different version. Do you have a different version of yourself on game day?
I think there's a lot more energy, not only from me, but, from the kids. And I tell them, don't make me bring the energy, but I bring the energy anyway. So I want them feeling like they have to bring energy, they have to bring that excitement. What a privilege it is to play college basketball, especially in a game like this. That's why they come here, to play ranked teams, to play teams like Gonzaga on our home court. And I think they'll have a little extra pep in their step today.
Dutch, you are the driver of the program. You decide when the gas pedal is down. You decide when you ease off of it. I look at Rocky Long and the Boise State loss, and Rocky did acknowledge we built this one up too much. You could see it in our players. Even Anthony Lynn with the Chargers in the loss against the Chiefs a week ago. Anthony Lynn admitted perhaps we built it up too much and we did not perform. We did not approach it as a normal game. You are the driver. How hard are you pushing on the gas pedal to make this remind them how enormous a game it is, or make sure that they don't play outside themselves?
I don't think I have to press them too hard. They're going to be excited to play. They know what Gonzaga is. They're not going to be overhyped, I don't think. I think I'm more concerned with not having played a game in 12 days and knocking the rust off early, and just having our game timing. We had training camp, and then we had the season started. And now we have this enormous 12-day break, and it's like we have a second training camp. And nobody wants a second training camp. The coaches love it, but the players are like, my goodness, can we play a game? Too much. So now I've got to try to help them knock that rust off early in the game, get their game timing going, and hopefully build some momentum again.
Coach, are there ways that you can help them get into rhythm with your play design?
Yeah, I can call a play. I can try to, early in the game, maybe design a play or two where everybody touches the ball right away instead of just running an isolation or a two-man play where you score on the first side. I can run a play where everybody gets a touch in the first play of the game or first play or two of the game, so at least they get the ball in their hands. Sometimes you run plays and two people touch the ball and a shot goes up, and then you go play defense and then come back and two people touch the ball and a shot goes up, and those other guys are like, hey, I need to get a feel for the ball. I need to at least touch it. So I try to sometimes at the start of games run plays where everybody gets a touch and not try to run such a quick hitter at the start of a game.
San Diego State University, number 12, Gonzaga. 7 o'clock tip-off time tonight. We appreciate Coach Dutcher joining us on a game day, which is not something that's usually done. So, Coach, we appreciate you. 6 o'clock pregame show begins right here on Xtra 1360. Tickets still available. GoAztecs.com. You mentioned knocking the rust off, Dutch, with the 12 days off. Have you had to ratchet up the intensity of practices, or has, because of perhaps some guys not being healthy, have you not been able to do that as much?
We've mixed competition, where we compete against each other pretty hard just to try to keep our timing together. And then we've taken other times where offensively we might work against a group of managers or some guys that are redshirting and stuff like that, where maybe I'm looking for more execution than physical dominance over somebody. And so I think we've done a good job of mixing that. Our defense has definitely gotten better over this 12 days, in my opinion. The hard thing with offense to tell is when you go against each other and you call a play, everybody knows what the other guy's doing because there are plays. And so sometimes it's hard to tell because you call something and everyone says, well, he's going over here, this has to be timed up right. If I take this pass away, I can disrupt the play. So sometimes you don't really know where you are offensively because everybody knows what the other guy's doing.
Coach, how's the health of the team coming into this contest?
We're getting there. You know, Trey Kell is still the one that's been labored with that deep thigh bruise. He hasn't gone through a full practice. I think we'll have him tonight. At what percentage he'll play, I'm not sure. I know with the two injuries he's had, with the ankle followed by the thigh bruise, he's missed out on a lot of running because he can't run rehab running with those injuries because that's part of the injury. So I'm a little bit concerned about his conditioning. You know, I hopefully we'll get him closer to full strength as we move toward Wyoming. But I hope Trey will give us some quality minutes today.
What kind of game does Gonzaga want to force you into?
Well, their ideal scenario would be to get us to turn the ball over and try to run us off the floor. They really run the ball, and they run a quick-hitting offense. Now, if we can take that away, if we can take care of the ball and not let them run out on us, then they'll try to pound us a little bit inside and set a lot of ball screens for their guards and roll those bigs in there and try to go high-low, get a lot of post touches. They've got quality bigs, and they're capable of drawing a lot of fouls inside. And they just got, they've got a great program. We all know that. Mark Hughes done a fantastic job. They're a fixture in the NCAA tournament. They dominate the WCC, and it's going to be a real challenge for us. But we have them on our home floor. I think our kids are anxious to get back out there and play with that kind of energy and effort that will put us in a position to win a game like this.
Brian Dutcher on 1360. Coach, you mentioned Gonzaga wanting to run you off the floor. It's a team that can score 100 points. How do you slow the game down a touch? Teach me a little bit, would you?
Well, usually, Nick, on a shot, sometimes you might say, let's get two guards back on the lift, so you at least have two of your guards moving back to a defensive position. Sometimes in games like this, you might adjust and say, we're going to send three guys back on the lift, maybe sacrifice something on the offensive glass in order to slow the tempo of the pace of the game down. So you might send three guards back on the lift of the shot. So there's things you can do from a defensive standpoint to try to slow them down, to put the numbers in your favor as they run down the floor and make it a more of a half-court game. But by doing something like that, you sacrifice maybe one extra body on the offensive glass. And so the fan might say, well, geez, they don't go rebound. Well, maybe that's by design. Maybe we're trying to get – they're so good at running, we say, okay, we're going to concede something on the offensive end to make sure we're back defensively, to get the tempo in our favor. So there's things you can do to adjust the tempo a little bit.
Dutch, you got to be pretty excited to get to go up a head coach as respected as Mark Few is.
Oh, he's the best. I mean, you talk about programs that have been really good on the West Coast over the past number of years, and you'd say Gonzaga's right up there at the top, Arizona. As far as home crowds and atmospheres, San Diego State's in there. We have the three best atmospheres in the West Coast, Arizona, Gonzaga, and San Diego State. So we need our fans out there giving us that atmosphere tonight. That can help propel you to a win. If things aren't going well, the crowd gets behind you, then that motivates you. That gives you that extra burst sometimes you need to push through. So hopefully we'll have our Aztec fans out there tonight and supporting their program.
Coach, what's the rest of your day look like from here on out?
Because we've had so much time to get ready for Gonzaga, I don't feel like I need to watch another second of tape on them.
Right.
You're ready, right?
Yeah, I could tell them if they're in the wrong place, hey, you're supposed to be over here. But, so maybe today I'll even start maybe peeking a little bit at Wyoming for the game on the 27th. But for 12 days prep on a team, that's more than enough. So we've had time to digest what they're doing and get that to our team. And so now it's just wait to play. It's maybe do a little something and walk through, work on our out-of-bounds plays a little bit and our shoot-around, and then get ready to play.
Well, Coach, best of luck tonight. We'll be watching, cheering for you.
I appreciate it, guys. Happy holidays.
Hey, you too, Coach. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, Dutch. Good stuff. All right. Well, I feel like I learned a lot there.